Hi everybody, this is Nancy again on YouTube. I'm back to talk about a new cake that I just completed today. It's for a friend of mine. Her daughter's first birthday is tomorrow, and I volunteered to go ahead and do the cake for her. This is actually my second cake, second fondant cake and second cake in general. And I learned a lot of things from this cake, actually, that somehow I didn't learn when I did my son's third birthday cake, which was my first fondant cake. A couple of things that I learned were completely cool down the cake before wrapping it in plastic. I like to freeze my cakes to keep them nice and moist. And I didn't wait until the cake fully cooled down before wrapping them in plastic and putting them in the freezer. So when I defrosted them and I was ready to do my crumb coat and my filling, the bottom, the half of the cake that was actually closest to the plastic wrap was really moist to the touch. So when I went ahead to put those on my cake boards, they were really slipping and sliding for me. So that's one thing I learned. Another thing I learned is if you're going to the cake store to buy certain boxes, this is actually a 10 and an 8 and a 4 on top. So what I did was I bought a 10-inch box and I bought an 8-inch box. And I actually bought a 6-inch box because they didn't carry 4-inch boxes. But with the 10 and the 8, the box just barely fit the cake. So there was a couple of dings in the fondant because the box is a little too small. So my advice would be buy a box that's bigger than the size of the cake that you have. The other thing that I learned too is not to judge the cake before it's all decorated. I managed to hide a lot of flaws and a lot of things that actually went wrong with the fondant by decoration. So you can't even really tell right now when you look at it. So save judgment until the very end. Like right now I feel like the cake looks pretty good. It looks clean. But if you knew what was underneath some of the decorations, you would understand why I lost some sleep over this cake. So again, it's a 10, 8, and a 4. It's a yellow doctored cake mix. I added my own ingredients to the cake mix to make it really firm and make it really dense and make it a nice cake for stacking. I filled and crumb coated with a white buttercream, and then it's covered in the white fondant and decorated in the pastels. The pastel colors, I picked them up at Michael's, and I actually had to tweak them a lot. It wasn't good enough for me just to use the gel color that came in the pastel pack. So actually, there's the color that's labeled as creamy peach. I actually had to add a little brown to it, and on top of that I had to add a little yellow to achieve the look that I really wanted. The same thing actually happened with the blue and the green. I felt that they were a little bit too dusty for my liking, so I added like the primary color green and the primary color blue just to kind of make them a little bit more sunny. And the pink is just the plain pink that comes in the box of 8 primary colors. The number 1 is actually constructed out of gum paste. What I did was I looked on Microsoft Word and I just picked up a font that I really liked, and I enlarged the image and I printed it, and then I used that printout as my template for tracing that number 1. So that's about all that I have to say about this cake. It was, again, a learning experience for me. That was actually also my first cake board to construct, so thank you so much to Mayanne for her great tutorial. I followed her tutorial, and I think the cake board looks fantastic. And with my son's first birthday cake, I didn't do a cake board. I actually put it on a cardboard cake circle, and I think if I were to put it on a cake board, it just would have looked even better. So thanks again to Mayanne. Really quickly, I'm going to move the camera and just show one quick thing that I did when I was stacking my cakes. I accidentally dinged the cake myself. So here is the ding. And I couldn't really cover it with decorations because I was trying to follow a sort of flow when I was decorating. And there's the ding. So what happened was I was getting my middle tier prepared for doweling, and I used my 4-inch cake pan as a guide to tell me where to put the dowels. And as I was picking up the cake pan after I was finished marking, the cake pan actually slipped out of my hand, and I was terrified that it was going to land on the cake. So I quickly just kind of swiped the pan, and inadvertently I nicked the cake right here with my knuckle. I did my very best to try to fix it. I initially thought maybe I could put a little patch of fondant in there and try to smooth it out, and it just looked really bad. And then I tried to use some buttercream, and the buttercream worked, but the color was different. Like the marshmallow fondant here turned into more of an off-white color than a white color, and the buttercream that I used is a very white color. So there was too much of a contrast in color. So then I thought maybe I could try to cover it with decoration, and then at the last second I just said accidents happen, and I'll just have to learn for next time. So again, it's my second cake, and I'm pretty proud of it. I think it's a pretty good second attempt. The dress bows were my first attempt at dress bows. I had a little issue with the ribbon, the fondant ribbon. Somehow in my calculations I didn't calculate it correctly, so I ended up a little bit too short, and you can kind of see down here I ended up too short, so I had to put a little patch of ribbon in there, and I thought I could hide it a little bit better with the bow, but you know, it gives it character, I guess. So, oh, and the little girl's name is Audrey. She'll be turning 1, and I can't wait to surprise my friend. It was a lot of work, as many people who make cakes know how much work it really is. So there you have it. All right. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.